Are you able to stay after at all? Are you able to stay after 4 at all? Okay. That's okay. We'll figure something out. Basically, just look on the timeline and like if you have any questions about doing any of those things, definitely let me know. Yeah, I can email you. Yeah. No, there's that. You can just like get some snacks. So actually, we are live now, guys. So people can hear you even if they can't see you. So if anyone, well, I guess we don't have to ask if anyone doesn't want to be filmed because I'm the only one people can see. Yes.
See about what a combination of iPhones and video.
Whereas before it was he knew the feel of it.
Right.
There's a really interesting play on that by Brian Friel. I can remember the name of it. Martha something. It's the name of the main character, and it's her experience of having her blindness corrected through the surgery, and just how disorienting the whole experience is for her.
And I know that was so cool to just like because you know how everyone kind of almost believes the night, like over here the man had to close his eyes and just to escape the vision.
Because like that as your brain is learning, it's like learning through a different sense.
Right.
Yeah. So like all those pathways that your neurons are making, all those connections that your brain is building rely on one sense that you have to rebuild all of those pathways to get the other sense of you doing it. Oh, yes, probably. Okay.
Marian, how many more people are we expecting, you think?
Well, is Trent gonna come? Is Kevin gonna come?
Kevin will be here eventually.
Like the people that we know are coming, like should we give them a minute or two, or should we just get started? It's already 3:13. We should just get started.
Yeah, I mean, I do need to send out the Hangout link,
Okay.
just as a matter of principle, I guess now.
Sure.
But yeah.
Well, you do that.
Yeah, you can.
Say really,
Yeah.
Okay. So the Hangout link is kind of part of the accessible part of our meetings. Not everyone can come here in person, and Duke's physical campus space is lacking in some ways with being accommodating, either with, not just like to the letter of the law with the ADA, but like sometimes it is hard to get around campus. So they always sets up a Google Hangouts link so that anyone who's not physically able to meet us at wherever a meeting is can still participate. And then later, the recording of it is captured on YouTube, and that link goes out so that if you miss the time slot of the meeting, you can still check out what went on as well. And then we usually have some type of conversation about, like right now, the only person being recorded is Jay's face.
Yeah, so
like
people
you're
can
not
hear the
actually
audio.
On video. Okay.
Because usually there's a camera up there. Like we're usually in a different room, and there's like a camera up there. Not today.
That's part of our initial setup.
Yeah, sorry, I just have to send this out. Yes, so if you want to check out like some of the stuff we've done in the past, definitely go on here.
And follow us.
Yes, oh yes, definitely.
We had the O-Week event. That's right. It was a discussion opportunity with new freshmen, and actually pulled in more than just freshmen who wanted to talk about the experience of what it's like to be around Duke, concerning disability issues, either having a disability or just wanting to be involved in that conversation. And it was good. it's an opportunity to sort of vent and share about experiences, share strategies for, not just like getting the accommodations you're entitled to, but like maintaining positive relationships with professors or trying to be a self-advocate of others. Yeah.
All right. So I think we can go ahead and get started now. Let me just do one more thing. Usually I share my screen. People can see what I'm doing. 1 sec. I'm just going to do this. Let me just pull up our agenda. Anyway, well, what we can do is we can just go ahead and do introductions now. Sorry, I'm kind of disorganized.
There's no point pulling up the agenda because pretty much all it says is socialize, get to know each other, introduce the club.
Yeah.
So we can just probably do that.
Yeah, I'll just keep this trained on our Facebook page then. There we go. So yeah, I can start. So I'm Jay Pandy. I'm the president of Duke Disability Alliance. I'm a sophomore here at Duke, and I'm from Chapel Hill. I don't know, I'm really excited to do more with the club this year and really engage with the Duke community about disability issues. So yeah, if we want to do fun facts, let me see if I can think of one. I was a US presidential scholar in 2016, so I got to go to DC and I actually met Tim Kaine very briefly. So
America's stepdad.
yes.
So do you want everyone to like?
Yeah, if you want to do like,
fun fact?
yeah, introduce yourself if you want to say a fun fact just to keep it light. I don't know.
Well, hi everyone, my name is Deepthi. I'm also a sophomore. And it's a fun fact about me is in Hindi, my name is It's Lit.
It's lit.
Light stuff, but I like to say.
Okay. Hi, I'm Simon. I'm a new member here. I'm a freshman. I found out about EDA through my teacher, Trici.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
You don't have to, you can just say Dr. Q.
That's fine. But yeah, I'm super excited to participate in, because I feel really strongly about accessibility and fairness around campus. So, and a fun fact, I play the violin and I joined the orchestra recently, so that actually does mean that I have to leave early soon. That's a great break to you. So yeah, we have a concert this afternoon. So
great.
I gotta leave a little early.
What's it in Baldwin?
Concert?
In Baldwin?
It's actually on the main floor.
Yeah, it's the Pops concert, right?
It's the Pops concert, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Some fun music.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Mahima. I'm also a sophomore, and I'm the advocacy chair. I've been involved with the DPA since last year, because I was a Dr. That's my fourth semester. I don't know a fun fact about myself.
How was the project you did about that?
So my project, my final paper was about it was about a comparison about the disability community in India and how it's a self-perpetuating community that brings upon poverty and makes the community the poorest and most invisible community because of the segregation. And I proposed a possible model to kind of end that. I think I can't remember what I don't really remember it very well. Yeah.
Well, you based it a little bit on your work with the women's rights
Right,
groups.
About how just vocational training and working from home could like kind of bring an end to that.
Okay. I'm Marion. I am, or Dr. Q, as my students call me. I'm the faculty advisor of the Duke Disability Alliance. didn't think about a fun fact. Okay, what can I share? I suppose, when I was little, I used to do cheerleading, and I would be the top of the pyramid and the basket toss and all that stuff, because I was really small for my age. Fun fact. It was fun at the time.
So I'm Victoria. I'm a freshman new member. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm from Northern Virginia. And I guess a fun fact about me is I did a lot of debate in high school.
Sorry, just, I'm from Maryland, so like DMV means District Maryland, Virginia, not Department of Education. You're part of that,
I'm Kathy. I'm the event coordination chair for the DDA. I'm a sophomore, and my voice is kind of scratchy. If I'm coughing a lot today, it's because I'm in the marching band and the wind symphony, and we had a football game yesterday, and I screamed my head off, and that's why. So sorry if I'm coughing. We crushed, right? Destroyed them.
60-7, right?
It's pretty sad.
NCCU.
Okay. Yeah, so that was real fun.
Good start. I'm Emily Scotchless. I am the facility coordinator for Duke Rec. And so I'm here representing the department and seeing how, kind of picking your brains on how maybe we could make our recreation centers more accommodating. So that's why I'm here. But fun fact, gosh, what's fun? Well, I've been a Duke basketball fan since I was in 7th grade, even though I grew up in Pittsburgh. And so I'm finally here. When I got here, I kissed the floor. So I don't know if y'all were. I kissed Cameron floor, which, I didn't get sick after that, surprisingly. But yeah, that's a fun fact about me because, I'm kind of basketball obsessed. Yeah.
My name is Ashley Elrod. I am the former faculty advisor of the group from last year. I did my PhD at Duke, so I've actually been here for a really long time, a number of years, I'm embarrassed to tell you. I am now a faculty member in the history department. I am really excited about teaching and researching disability issues, and this spring, forgive me if I plug my class, but I'm offering a course on history of disability, so I'm really excited to see disability topics grow and have more chances to learn about them at Duke. For a fun fact, I initially, as we were going around the table, I of course panicked and couldn't think of anything fun about myself. My first thought was I could talk about my cats, but I don't want to come off as the cat lady. So I've been to Germany a lot. I learned German since I was in high school. I studied German history as my specialty. And I love Oktoberfest parties. I have the full dress get up, the dirndl, little pretzel and beer stein earrings, own several beer steins. I love when the Oktoberfest parties go around the triangle. They're super fun. It is not usually in October. It usually starts in late September, so don't miss it. There are some great ones in the area, and I mean, who could say no to a chance to listen to polka music for 6 hours straight?
Can I share a fun fact about you? You're scared. Is it about my cats? No. Ashley has a dress that has pictures of hot dogs all over it.
That's not what I was referring to.
I know. That's why I had to bring it up.
That's for special occasions. And I made it myself.
Do you guys want to?
Sure. My name's Emily. I'm a senior. Makes me feel old. You're also young. This is my first time getting to know DDA. Iris and I are here as kind of representatives of a group on campus called Enable that uses 3D printing to engineer prosthetic solutions, and we're really interested to find out if there's a way our clubs can connect. What you're doing is awesome. My fun fact is I can speak Asian Creole.
My name is Iris, and I'm with Emily. I'm part of the Enable. I'm a sophomore here, and the fun fact is, I like horses.
So I think that's everyone, right? All right, great. Why don't we start by having you, Emily, speak about, or like kind of, I don't know, pose any questions you have for our membership,
Sure.
and we can have a little bit of a conversation.
Yes, so, Duke Rec in general, you know, we have our mission, we have our values. One of our values is inclusivity. So, we're constantly striving to try and bring that value to life. And so, in the past 6 months, we have done small things, for accommodations. You know, we do the facility needs, kind of, making sure, we have our like something like our locker room doors, or, you know, and any kind of restroom door is not, what do you call it, the pressure to open is at a certain amount. And, you know, we're working with the facilities maintenance department to make sure all these are in check, and doing small things like that. And those are very small things that I feel like we could be doing more, of course. And, you know, we would like to make more adjustments and accommodations for those with disabilities, and, you know, all kinds. I'm thinking, I want to get people in the door. I want to get people that are, you know, in wheelchairs through the doors, but that's not the only disability out there, as we know. So I'm trying to pick your brains as to how, you know, if you can think of anything that we could do or we could look at and talk about. That's where I'm at, because, you know, my supervisor ultimately makes the decisions, but it's on both of our lists of our goals this year to make it more accommodating in what we can do. So that's my spiel. So if you guys have any ideas, I mean, it doesn't have to be today, or you can, you know, send out something to the whole alliance, or, and, you know, I don't want to put you guys on the spot for sure, but just kind of put it in your radar. I'm trying to.
I'm not familiar with the space. I haven't actually been here. So maybe, I don't know how familiar other members are.
Yeah,
I've been in there
I don't know if
like
you
once
guys
or
have-
twice.
What's that?
I've been in there like once or twice.
Once
now.
or twice, yeah. I mean, hey, I mean, feel free. We can come back to this topic. It's, you know, like I said, I don't want to put y'all on the spot. I don't know if you even have stepped in yet, and you can surely do so and come back to me, and that's fine too. Either you know, Brody and Wilson, we're talking about both facilities here, so, you know, it might be something that we can address later, and that's fine too.
Right.
I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I think one thing that I can think of right off the bat is that usually like so like last year I was on East Campus, and so using Brody, the first thing I did was basically I had one of my therapists come and look at Brody with me. But maybe if there was someone with Duke Rec that was kind of sort of an expert in like helping people with disabilities learn how to like use machines and stuff, that would be helpful.
Like a common contact point.
Right.
Yeah, you can connect with,
Or like someone that could actually go around with different like
give
people.
you a tour of how to.
Yeah, and then like be like help like work with people even to like make sure that they can develop a workout routine that works for them basically.
And that could include the pool as well. One of my doctors encouraged me to use the pool resources for water physical therapy. And I found it kind of intimidating to gather information about how best to do that. First, it felt like I would be uncomfortable with stairs, that people wouldn't really understand what I was doing. But it also took a couple tries to get a conversation going with someone who could talk to me about the pool resources. Like I needed certain things, even just like a pool noodle, certain things that I used for the physical therapy. It didn't exactly feel like a space that was for me. And I'd be interested to know how often people use that space for physical therapy, or whether it's, I don't know, there are like different forms of wellness that don't necessarily, it's kind of like the stereotype of peak physical fitness, running on a treadmill or,
Yeah, and there's so much more than to our gym, our rec centers, than running on a treadmill, of course. So, yeah, and we do have, we have needles available, we have kickboards available, we have little belts that I've done aqua jogging in the little belt, keeps you above water. But yeah, that's just something that, Brody has the level, I think it's, you can get in and it's 4 feet. Now, Wilson, or Tashoff, that's connected to Wilson there, the pool area, is, it's deep. It gets deep in the middle and then there's only lap lanes available. Brody has a little more give to it, to be able to run across a little bit more and do what you need to do. So, I mean, that's something I can bring up with our aquatics director as well. And more physical ed department. So.
I think maybe one thing in common there is like sort of how public and how well known the sense of welcomeness is for people with disabilities or people. The sense of having a publicized contact person and routine of being able to go around the space and get information. The sense that, it's like being able to see yourself as an intended user of that space as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So just like in terms of other ways of thinking about accessibility, like you said, beyond wheelchairs or beyond like mobility impairments. I mean, again, I'm not familiar with this space, but like I think a lot about like people with autism, for example, who like might be just kind of overstimulated by the environment of the gym, especially if it's crowded. Mm-hmm. So like I know that very recently stores like Target have kind of been like, okay, how can we like make the store less stressful for people to actually shop in? And they have like moments of the day like reserved for like I mean, it's probably not every day, it's probably like once a week or something where the lights are dimmed, it's like quieter and like less crowded, I suppose. So like stuff like that. Yeah. So I don't know how you can manage whatever chaos is in the gym. I don't know how busy it gets.
Wilson, after all,
So I mean that kind of thing, and then thinking about lighting and thinking about like fluorescent. Is it like fluorescent? Obviously, you have to keep well lit for safety, right? But different kinds of lights have different kinds of sensory effects. So like fluorescent lighting can sometimes cause a kind of buzzing noise that's like people with migraines get triggered. Mm-hmm. So things like that. There's like so many different ways to think about it. I'm kind of just touching the surface.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's.
But those are ways to start thinking beyond mobility impairments, I think.
Yeah. Are there, I'm thinking back what Ashley what Ashley was saying. I don't think all of our information is actually out there for everybody. I don't even think it's on our website that something like
the facilities in the pool.
Email
someone in particular.
Yeah, so that needs to be
a web page or maybe not even a separate web page.
Oh, no,
but like integrated into.
Yeah.
Yeah, also I don't think there's a map of Wilson on the internet at all. And so I was trying to find my way.
That's great. I mean, this is great, guys.
Yeah, so like a big part of accessibility is like, it doesn't even have anything to do with disability necessarily, but how manageable is this? Like how can people find their way around? Is it like well signposted that like cardio is here, other kinds of machines are there and things like that, but also having it like available in Braille and stuff like that, so like people with visual impairments can navigate the space.
Yeah, and it doesn't just help people with disabilities, it helps people like in general. And that's like the idea behind what's called universal design, where you design things with just as much with people people with disabilities in mind as like able-bodied, typically developing people. So because it does help everybody. So.
Yeah, cool.
Are the class offerings part of that conversation that department's having?
Well, right now it's within our facilities group that we're talking about this. No, we need to bring the physical ed into our discussions, absolutely.
I just have a for example, which may not be fully inclusive of every person who might be interested, but restorative yoga. A type of class that, like a subtype of class that would be more accessible for a range of people. Restorative yoga is most often like your body is in some way fully supported either by the floor or by various props like bolsters, pillows, blocks, and so on. It's great for deep relaxation, for just having stress and you have like a lot of tension. But for some people, it's kind of the only way that they can engage and relax certain muscles or experience yoga at all. I love it, but like this example is very specific to my experience. So I've just used that as an example, starting point, talking about the course offerings.
Yeah, well, that would be, so we have a lot of different yoga instructors, whether they are in physical education or they're in our group fitness. So that's something that I'll definitely bring up to both fitness and the PE sub-departments of our entire department. That's great.
Can we put this conversation down as like a ongoing thing, like we can keep brainstorming?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
sometimes these ideas
that'd be
come.
great.
Yeah, and if you want to send us a write-up about like what you want to get from our membership, we can definitely post that and fill that out. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Simon have to leave.
Well, I want to see you get everybody that is, can be able to use our facility. I want to see, I know there's certain machines that we, I really want to get like a hand bike. We don't have a hand bike, for God's sakes, I want a hand bike. We're working on with our vendor to get one, but right now, I feel like that I know of a person that it's keeping her out because she wants to use the hand bike. So I just want to have something for everybody to be able to use and create a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that. So thank you.
So this should definitely be an ongoing conversation. I'm thrilled that you're here and that like you guys reached out. Not every department does, and it would be great if someday the whole university was collaborating on these issues. So that's down the road, right? That's an eventuality.
And do you know Lee Fickling?
Yeah.
So I've been, back and forth with her and the man that works with her, I can't think of.
Tony Galliani?
Yeah, Tony, yes. So, I've been working back and forth with them and I even offered, hey, I will personally, give a tour for anybody who, any person with a disability that wants to come in, incoming freshman, anybody that feels overwhelmed by just going in there and being like, okay, where do I go from here? And so I offered it, but, they said, we haven't had anybody want the tour just yet. And I'm like, I'm sure there's people out there that want, so that's where I'm just, want to help.
So this kind of project would be one kind of thing that we do. I was just thinking that we should probably, since there's so many new people here, discuss like what our club generally does and like give them an introduction to it. And
I don't want to take up all your time too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking, could we just have Enable go first? Because I know you guys probably. We definitely, since you guys were able to come, we definitely want you to give you guys time to speak briefly about what your club does. As well. So, do you guys just want to talk about what you guys do?
Yeah, sure. If you are going to screen share, you can control our website.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Enable.wordpress.com. But we're a club that's based out of the Innovation Co-Lab, so we are really interested in design and technical aspects of adaptive technology, specifically things that can be 3D modeled and 3D printed. So for the past year, we've been focusing on 3D printing recreational prosthetic devices for amputees that we've been connected with through prosthetists in the area. But since we're such a fledgling club at this point, we're really interested in learning different ways we can get involved with the Duke community, with the Triangle communities, and we'd love to see if we can forge some sort of relationship with the DA to see if there's any way we can get connected.
That's awesome. I know we can, like I was telling you earlier, we can definitely help advertise and use our resources to kind of see if we could have more people that would want to use your services come to you guys.
Good question. What is the sort of the scope of who you engage with currently, and what are your goals?
So currently, we've only been around here. Our recipients and clients have all been upper limb amputees, some congenital, some trauma. And I think that we see ourselves being able to reach out to really anyone who has some sort of healthcare related need that 3D printing could address. So we're just looking for really niche applications where we can see what we can do.
Like none of our recipients have been students, but like if there are Duke students who like want like a custom made, like attachment or something that will help with their disability, then we're like open to like custom making different like devices for them.
Do you have partnerships with community organizations in the Triangle or the state right now?
We're definitely connected with some prosthetics and orthotics clinics. We're speaking at the area conference this year, American Academy of Orthotics and Prosthetics. So we're definitely getting connected with that community. Also looking into some sort of partnership with Bridge to Sports, which is an adaptive sports program that at this point, that's coming.
I'll speak to you a little bit later about just some ideas for community partnerships. Some of our current community partners, for example, the Alliance of Disability Advocates, serves Raleigh and Durham as a center for independent living that helps to like share information, referral, and provide services and advocacy support in general. And they have a lot of day-to-day interaction with North Carolinians with disabilities. So potentially a referral arrangement, maybe. Yeah.
And what's the scope of your 3D printing? Like, can you 3D print like a hand bike or something? Or is that?
The printers that we usually use are like 20 by 20 centimeters. Like 12 inches tall. So,
I mean,
not a
it's possible.
but theoretically, if we did it,
Let me assemble the kit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we will definitely be in touch with you guys because we do want to partner with you. And we definitely also appreciate the work that you're doing for your patients as well. So thank you. All right, yeah, we can definitely talk about what DDA does now. I think since we started so late, I wanted to have our guests have a chance to speak for sure. But let me just pull up. I want to actually pull up our official mission. Here we go. So I can just read this. DDA's mission is to make Duke more inclusive and accessible by fostering conversations about disability issues, expanding accessibility on campus and in the community, encouraging positive perceptions and full appreciations of people with disabilities, and promoting their legal rights. We strive to engage the entire Duke community to make Duke a better place for those with and without disabilities. So I think the part that I like to focus on is the fostering conversations for sure, because I don't feel like there's really a lack of a conversation about disability issues in general at Duke and like in the world. So yeah, basically in society. So yeah, I think that's probably the most important part of our mission. But yeah, that's generally what we're trying to do. And can also, pull up our schedule of events. I don't know if any of you guys got the activities calendar for 2017, 2018. We're in there. We
I did
also,
see that.
yeah, great. So we also post stuff on our Facebook page, definitely, about what we're doing. As far as, here it is. So we already had our first event of the year on Sunday, the 27th of August. We basically just had a discussion about disability at Duke, and we wanted to also provide a space for first years to ask questions about what it's like to have a disability at Duke. And that event went really well. Yeah, and then September 14th through the 16th, there's a conference called Health, Humanities, and Social Justice, Breath, Body, and Voice that's organized by the Franklin Humanities Institute. Marian, I don't know if you can talk for a little bit about it.
Sure. So at the Franklin Humanities Institute, there's something called the Health Humanities Lab, which is something that's exploring the field of health humanities, which is really interdisciplinary. And it's like, how can the humanities, like how can a kind of philosophical humanistic approach to medical questions enhance our understanding of these issues and to improve kind of our focus on social justice. So there's a lot of different events going on. So I would really encourage that everybody check out the website that the Health Humanities Lab has built for this event, because there's a thing on the Thursday night, and then there's a full day of events on the Friday and a full day of events on the Saturday. So probably you guys are busy students, you're not gonna be able to go to everything, but you can definitely pick and choose from the different events that are on offer. Some of them are like conference panels on things like race and medicine and the intersection therein, things like bioethics, things like neurographics for people who are interested in neuroscience. And I don't know, there's a concert, so there's like social events and kind of like cultural events in addition to the more academic stuff. There's also a panel on Orphan Black. Does anyone know the TV show Orphan Black? Okay, I don't actually know it that well either myself, but it's a really popular show. And so they're really excited about that. They actually have people who were involved in making the show coming here to Duke. So that should be a big draw as well. So we will send out the link to the website.
And what is that website? Just so I can just pull it up here
If
for.
you just Google Health Humanities, Humanities Futures Conference, Duke, you'll get it. But we can also send it around because we're having pretty net IDs, right? People who are new, we should get your net IDs so that you're on our listserv. We'll send it out and then encourage people to sign up for whatever they can. And I would encourage you to do it soon, because actually some of the things are already full. So it's already generating a lot of attention even at the very beginning of the semester. So it's gonna be a really great conference, a really fun thing to get involved in. And yeah, I mean, as the Duke Disability Alliance, they've asked us to help them out with making the conference accessible. So like analyzing the spaces where they're gonna have it and letting them know what they can do to make it more accessible to people with disabilities. So that's gonna be the way that we're getting involved. Students can also, if you're interested, feel free to volunteer at the conference to, I guess, help people get their water and snacks and stuff like that. There's gonna be like refreshment stands and things of that nature. So that's my update on that conference. I don't know.
Is it this thing?
Yep, that's it, Breath, Body, Voice. So yeah, it's basically asking questions about, you know, which bodies can breathe easy in a society. It's like looking at all of the ways that social structures, things like poverty, things like climate change affect the bodies that live in different places. And so it's very much about looking at that relationship between like geography, politics, and embodiment that I think is really fascinating. So it's a great topic. They've got some amazing speakers lined up, some great keynotes. And yeah, I think it'll be good. You check out what you can. You don't have to register for the whole thing. You just register for what you're going to, and it's all free. So.
And just a word on volunteering at conferences. That's something I've done, whether to like cover a fee that I would have had to pay otherwise, or just volunteering. And like, for example, I worked at a registration table, and I had like read about people I was interested in who were going to be talking at the conference, like big ways that I was kind of scared to approach. And it was really cool to be able to like start up conversations with them. So if there is someone on the docket who you would want to talk to, volunteering is one way to sort of get kind of closer on the inside circle. Granted, you could also just ask me or Marion or any of the organizers for an introduction and get that as well. But just a bit of personal experience there. It can be pretty fun.
Yeah, so our partnership with the Health Humanities Lab is pretty new. I didn't meet Deborah Jensen until last year in like April. So this is the first time that they put something on that we are going to be helping advertise and promote. So this is going to be like a continuing partnership. This is going to be one of our like collaborators on campus. Yeah.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pass this around. And if you can just type in your email address and then click the add button, you'll be added to our listserv and you should get an email. So thanks. Let me go back to, actually let me do one thing. I can just scroll through the speakers here because this all gets recorded and put on YouTube. So
Cool.
I can just scroll through this list real quick.
Christina Crosby on the bottom right-hand side holding the fluffy white dog. She is speaking at one of the panels and wrote a memoir that I've been reading a little bit each night. And so it's like really exciting for me to like hear that she's coming in. I actually don't know whether I can attend on the day when she has her panel, but it's a really cool memoir. It's called A Body Undone. It's one of those ones where I started reading it and I immediately thought like, I would love to read this in a group with other people and talk about disability and how big like an accident, a life-changing event helps you like grapple with your identity, like who you are, what your physical limitations are. Anyway, anyone interested in like books and talking about them?
Yeah.
What's the book called again?
A Body Undone.
No, you're good.
Should I just pass it?
Yeah, if you've been getting emails, you're already on the listserv. If this is d_d_a@duke.edu. That's the listserv for our members.
John hand it back to me and I'll just add all the new members.
Well, I did that.
You already added them?
Yeah.
So the next event that we'll be doing
Yeah,
after
if you want
this,
to,
will be one that's primarily put on by DDA. We're not partnering on it. And it's called Digital Advocacy and Disability Rights. And we've invited a lawyer from Disability Rights North Carolina named Matt Hare to come and speak about how to advocate for people with disabilities using like social media, using like the internet, using online spaces. So he's going to give some strategies for that. And just give us a kind of overview of what it means to be a lawyer working on disability justice issues. So he'll give us a kind of summary of some of the cases that they have going on at the RNC, that's Disability Rights North Carolina. And that'll be October 3rd, probably in the Smith Warehouse. I don't know if we.
Yeah, we're gonna work.
Working on getting a space, but there will
I
be
think
food
there are
that's going to be
people-
catered and it's going to appeal to students interested in law.
I thought there were people that wanted to get.
Someone.
How long do we have?
You have at least 5 minutes.
6 minutes, yeah. All right, so yeah, we talked about that. So the next event is we're doing a community networking event where we're hoping to get like a bunch of different representatives from different community organizations in the area to come to the Nasher and kind of network with members of DDA. So it's an event primarily geared towards members. That's Saturday, October 14th, 1 to 3 p.m. at the Nasher. And we're hoping to get food from their cafe over there, which is really great. I've been there like once.
Very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think since we only have 5 minutes left, we should give some of the new members a little space to think about stuff this club might do, stuff like you were telling me about your interest in like building partnerships with businesses. You want to talk about that?
Sure. So, I feel that in addition to the advocacy work, that working with businesses is something that you might want to look into So specifically, I think that, just as what's your name? Sorry.
Emily.
Emily was talking about, I feel that a lot of businesses or organizations would be open to, helping people with disabilities, making their facilities more accessible, but might not know where to start, right? So I feel that maybe coming up with, a short but comprehensive list of, what are some basic things that businesses can do to make their facilities accessible. We're talking about certain types of lights, for example. I had no idea that was a problem for everybody. And I feel bad when businesses wouldn't know that either. So putting together some sort of comprehensive list and then working with both organizations and businesses to try to at least create a level of awareness. And then the step from there to maybe work with local municipal officials to, support small businesses that need funding to implement some of those things, or even to work with youth students who are interested in doing, some sort of volunteer work to help businesses develop the facilities that they need. I mean, I feel that having very clear guidelines in place, so that there's no question what I can do if I want to do that, would be helpful to businesses, even like small businesses or even established ones.
Great. So one of the things that we're hoping we can do as a club this year is to build what we're going to call an advocacy team. So right now we have Akima as the chair of the advocacy team, but she's the only person on the team right now. So we're open to new members for that. And I would say that if that's something that you're interested in, we would more than love to have your ideas on that and have you come on board, and we'll give you all the support and all the resources that you can need to do that kind of project.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything?
I'm sorry, Maddie just walked in. This is my student, Maddie. Can you maybe introduce yourself to the group?
Hi, I'm a freshman from Chapel Hill. I'm really sorry that I came late. I actually something on Twitter that was still there first. So I'm really sorry.
Okay, we'll have a chat a little bit more.
Yeah, do you want to share a fun fact about yourself?
Oh, okay. Once I was bitten by a copperhead and I was not.
Oh,
That's awesome.
It's definitely a fact. Kevin, do you want to just introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah. So my name's Kevin, for basically everyone. I think a couple of people know. I'm the vice president of the Disability Alliance. I'm from Florida, sophomore, continuing to study political science and American history. Fun fact, I had a pet hedgehog. When that hedgehog was nice, named Baxter. When it was mean, I know my brother coined the term, the name is Prick. Baxter unfortunately passed away 2 years ago, but yeah. So yeah.
I've never heard of anyone who had a hedgehog as a pet.
I've never heard of a hedgehog.
Somehow, yeah, no. It was just didn't like yeah.
That's everything. I can talk a little bit more. So basically, we're trying to fill 2 exec positions right now. Advocacy co-chair. We definitely need someone to help Mahina out. We also need a secretary, someone to come to all the meetings, take notes, and basically help us take care of some logistical stuff like within our club to keep things organized. So if anyone wants to do that, definitely let us know. Basically, the way this will work is we will hold an election. Once we have 2 people that want to run, at least 2 people, we will hold an election.
You mean one for each position?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the way the election will work is it'll be just to elect 2 people to exec with no specific title attached to the election. And then the top 2 vote getters would be added to exec, and then we would figure out amongst exec who gets what position. So yeah. And if you have any questions, definitely email us, dukedisabilityalliance@duke.edu. That's to contact exec. So yeah, is there anything else?
You want to talk a little bit about the
Right, yeah, so we have the advocacy team. So the advocacy team is basically running our social media. Anybody that contacts us, like through Facebook or through email, making sure that they get whatever resources they need, and that they're heard by us. Helping Kevin, the vice president, reach out to other organizations and like kind of expand and strengthen our partnerships. And we're also trying to build an event coordination team. Is there someone outside that wants to?
I'll check, just keep talking.
We're also trying to build an event coordination team. Kathy, our event coordination chair, is doing a lot of great work for us, and she could definitely use some help too. So anyone that wants to help us plan events and figure out the logistics of different events and stuff, we could definitely use that help. The two elected positions are advocacy co-chair and secretary. The other ones are unelected. So you'd not have to run. But even if you did want to run, it wouldn't be like a close election or anything like that. It's just more of a formality. So no worries there.
Are the two roles mutually exclusive? I mean, can you be on exec and still be a part of the coordination team as well?
Well, I mean, I haven't really explored the possibility of someone having two positions, basically.
I feel like the teams should be open membership to anyone. Like you can be on the accessibility team and also be the event coordination chair. You know, like I feel like since it's a team, it's not necessarily an elected position, so there's nothing to stop you.
I think the one thing is that the elected roles would technically be a lot of work. Oh yeah, it is 4:02. Yeah, we could definitely have a conversation about that. We do need to vacate the room, so sorry to cut it short so abruptly. I can talk to anyone outside on the third floor. There's some really nice chairs there. So, all right, thanks everyone for coming. We really appreciate it, and we'll let you know when our next meeting is. We still need to figure that out.